I like that J in your name, David. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. 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 Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hey, KZOOMers. Gonna have a small group today.
Small but mighty.
Mighty. I woke up I woke up yesterday morning, and I had this memory of something my mother had told me. She, when she gave birth to me and to my older brother Harold, she was under hypnosis, so that she didn't have to do a lot of drugs. Or the first child she had, she was just totally knocked out. But she met this doctor who was a hypnotist, and he hypnotized her, and he gave her the suggestion that she would feel everything, but it wouldn't be a problem. And I thought, oh, I would like that suggestion too. And in a way, I feel like, the theme of this KZOOM has to do with entering the garden. And the garden is a dimension of our lives, of our being, where we feel everything, but it's not a problem. And I want to go back to the garden. I want to go back to the garden. So we begin with this invitation from the Song of Songs that says, why don't you just say this first part here,
I shall. You are a garden spring, a well of living waters that flow from Lebanon.
Awake, north wind, south wind, come, blow upon my garden, and let its spices stream out. Let my lover come into his garden and taste its luscious fruits.
I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have gathered my myrrh and my spices. I have eaten from my honeycomb. I have drunk my wine and my milk. Feast, friends, and drink till you are drunk with love.
So, so I want to, I want to chant those words from the Song of Songs that says, I have come into my garden. So where that garden is in us, and it is the divine garden. It is, it's not my garden. It's the divine garden, and because of that sense of the divine garden, there is an invitation for the, for the divine presence to dwell there, to move through me, and So when I chant these words, entering, which I'm calling, entering the garden, I want to can open up to a kind of a re-enchantment, a realization that we are much vaster beings than we admit to, and that we have inside us this infinite place, this garden that is inviting the presence into it. Mm-hmm. And it's really the divine garden that is in us. So so the beloved chants to us and says,
Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into
pause for a moment, and close your eyes, and just breathe into the heart and find inside you a garden. So then you might want to walk into that garden to where the secret spring is in the center of your heart, and just notice what's growing there, and how colorful, how fragrant, how inviting you want to make this garden so that the divine presence can feel invited at home. So breathe into those images, notice what the flowers are. Imagine the fragrance of those flowers. Imagine even the bees buzzing around, pollinating.
My honeybee.
And so now when we chant it, really feel like this is the beloved chanting it to you, and getting a sense that you are beloved of God. You are beloved of the wholeness of life. You are integral. You are acknowledged in your beauty, in your fragrance, in your lushness.
Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Baati legani achoti challah. Baati legani achoti challah.
So find that presence of God in the garden that is within, which is the divine garden inside you, and just open to the presence of the beloved within you. Open to the presence that has always been there. This morning I had a little revelation with Rachmiel. We have this minhag, this custom, that when we're in a difficult situation, like sometimes it's just being stuck in traffic, we turn to each other and we say, well,
at least we're together.
At least we're together.
Whatever happens, we're together.
We're together. At least we're together. And then I said to him, well, when one of us dies, God forbid, but it's inevitable, when one of us dies, could we still have that feeling of, at least with God? Can we have that feeling with God? No matter what happens, at least we're together. Mm. And I thought, oh, what a wonderful way to, experience life. At least we're together. At least we're together. Just to be able to say that to the beloved, in the stuck, even when you're in the stuck places, at least we're together. And this garden that I want to enter, the garden where that hypnotic suggestion that my mother received, that said, you'll feel everything, but it's not going to be a problem. That's what it's like in the garden. But I think that what's necessary is, in order to enter the garden, there has to be what I call a re-enchantment. We get disenchanted, and we have to become re-enchanted. And so I was thinking about this, and I picked up this book by Hank Wesselman called The Re-Enchantment. And I opened to this page where he says, with the current shift into the next cycle of ages, there is now a general agreement among our visionaries that a great healing has become possible for humanity individually and collectively, and this is said to be so for our planet too. Many, including me, feel strongly that this will involve a re-enchantment of ourselves and a re-enchantment of nature. There is once again hope for a different outcome, hope for a future filled with direction, good intention, and harmony, hope for a rebirth of love, personal health, and well-being, and hope for a renewed sense of satisfaction and security. As Desmond Tutu has wisely observed, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. So I know that we are kind of surrounded by darkness every day, and that, that sense that we can hold the light in the midst of it so is our hope. So the whole Kabbalah, the whole system of Kabbalah is based on the idea that it's possible that there can be a connection between dimensions. So there is that infinite soul dimension. There is this finite human dimension. And sometimes there seems to be a chasm between them. And so the tree of life is kind of mapping out the connection between the infinite and the finite, between the place of supreme light and our own dark tangles. That there is a flow from the infinite that is always flowing, And
And to me, it feels like a stream of well-being when I feel it in my body.
it's the divine it's the divine flow, and we want to open to it. So I wanted to chant these words opening to the source of flow, and these are the words that were pointing. My good friend Malila Hellner pointed out these words to me and said that in the Zohar, which is sort of like the most important mystical text, these words are the most repeated words in the Zohar.
In the whole Zohar.
Because it's pointing to that connection between the infinite and the finite, so that and to the possibility that we could receive that flow. And it said this: there is a river that comes forth from Eden, which is the source of all delight, to water the garden. And the garden is the garden of this world, the garden of our lives, the garden that we are wanting to become re-enchanted with. And the only way we can do that is to open up to the flow. So with this practice, I often like to begin with the breath, of just opening up the breath as that flow from the infinite, watering the garden that is inside us. And we might even breathe in and water that garden, and breathe out and water the garden of the world. Take a couple minutes to find your breath. Find a sense of that there is a flow that is nourishing and nurturing and enlivening, and you want to be a channel for that flow. And by chanting these magic words, we are
Invoking
yes.
that stream.
It is, but it's already happening. It's like we are opening to it, right?
Invoking our awareness that it's happening.
bring your attention back to the breath, allowing the in-breath to be that flow, the out-breath to water the garden of the world, becoming a channel for that flow. Receiving it, letting it water the garden within, letting it flow through you into the world. So receiving that flow is receiving God. And channeling that flow is bringing God's presence into the world through the fullness of your own presence. You too, Ezra.
Sweet cat spirit.
All of us.
Feline priestess.
So this experience of seeking God to me is really also, finding myself, really, because we can't. It's like the self and God are two sides of the same something or other. It's finding God, looking for God, we find ourselves. Looking for ourselves, we find God, and what comes into question as we step onto this path of seeking God is really, who is it that's seeking, and what kind of God becomes alive in the seeking itself, and in that questioning of who am I, what gets cleared away are the very small versions of myself. I think of what we know as our human selves as kind of the tip of the iceberg of who we really are, which is we're soul, and that is as vast as the universe. And so I wanted to share with you something that I wrote on my 70th birthday.
A little over a year ago. At the solar eclipse.
And it's called My Declaration of Integrity. And it really has to do with this sense of what it means to be connected to that garden, really. So my Declaration of Integrity means I want to live from what I know. And I know that I am a soul. As a soul, I know that nothing can truly harm me. There is nothing to fear. I have come here embodied in this form to feel all of it, the most magnificent joy and the abject misery, while knowing that these feelings are meant to expand and deepen the knowing of my infinite nature through experience. I know that I can feel my feelings and not be lost in them, but rather use those feelings as energy that can help me become whole and bring beauty and depth to others. I've come here to this form to become an expression of the beauty and magnificence of the infinite realms, which are my true home. Mm-hmm. I've come to bridge the gap between my essential nature and the particular forms of this life. I know that it is possible to meet every challenge with joy.
It's possible. In theory.
I know that I am here to love and be loved. Living from this purpose, I am on the lookout for opportunities to learn the lessons of love, to find out what blocks the flow of love and what opens that flow. I know there is a radiance within me. My commitment is to remember to shine. So the practice that I want to do with you, which is called the miracle, is a practice of the power of awareness. Like what I just read, I think it was like a moment of awareness of like who I really am. And what this prophecy from Isaiah says is, he transforms her wilderness into delight, her wasteland into a divine garden.
Wow. That's like, a wasteland into a divine garden.
And so I want to say that he means God as awareness. God as awareness transforms this wilderness, this tangle of my life, into delight. And this wasteland, this place of constriction and of barrenness, really, is transformed through awareness into the garden.
Divine garden.
Divine garden. That's the garden that the Song of Songs is talking about. Mm-hmm. That, the garden that God is saying, this is my garden I'm coming into. That's the divine garden, and it's in us, that divine garden. And Abe, I hope Theo is there too, listening too on the side here. So, because I'm coming to you guys are having a divine garden there. Yes.
In the physical realm.
Yes.
As well.
This is their wedding. I'm going to be in a few weeks. I'm going to be in their garden, right? Which is the divine garden.
It is,
right,
in Georgia.
So it is a divine garden, but sometimes we need to bring awareness to who we really are, so that the garden is transformed through awareness.
Yeah,
that's what.
We need the awareness. I do. So I miss it. It's happening. And
right,
it's like,
right.
Oh, wait, right here. Take it in.
So I want to chant these words to invoke that awareness, so that that transformation can happen. And even if we have a moment of that awareness, it plants the seed of knowing that we are that divine garden. And then when we forget, we have some place to come back to. Because all of our practice is really about remembering who we really are. Mm-hmm. And I wanted just to take a look around the KZOOM room for here to be able to see these divine gardens here.
Oh, Zamira, I haven't seen you in forever, sister.
And these words, I think we in the Kol Zimra we used these words in order to have the courage and the inspiration to be able to dive into our own depths and do the healing work. So let's open up this possibility of miracle. Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, ve'arvata ke'gan Adonai. Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, ve'arvata ke'gan Adonai. Vayasem midbarah ke'edel, Vayasem midbarah ke'edel,
haGan Adonai.
So we enter the garden when we remember who we are, and then we want to bring that remembrance back so that we can live in that light. And you know, one of my favorite books called A Walk in the Physical has a story about
Christian Sundberg.
someone who remembered what it was like before they were born and remembered the process of taking birth, and the way that Christian Sundberg describes the process of going from a soul to a little person was like, he says, like the vibration, this high vibration of who I am, getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and painfully lower. And he describes this experience of like wanting out, of like, no, I don't like this low vibration, and he was almost gonna like just say forget it, and then he describes what happened. He says, just then the great, powerful I am presence of Source, which we also crudely call God, came over me. To this day, thinking about this presence brings me tears of joy. The presence of God filled me, and for a moment expanded me back out, showing me all the galaxies, all of the stars, and beyond. God reminded me that I was that. I knew that I was the stars, the galaxies, indeed the entire universe, and more. I was joy and freedom and power and love itself. I was a mighty churning symphony of bliss. And God said to me, this is still what you are. You can never not be this. So somehow I come back to that a lot, that experience that, of going from the high vibration to this low vibration, and then being able to find my way back into the fullness of who I am, into that high vibration of soul. And from there, it's like, oh, I can deal with whatever comes up, It's like saying, like, you'll feel everything, but it's not going to be a problem. You'll be in the garden. And from there, we can treat this life as both a classroom and a playground, which means that we will learn from everything. And we will also open up to enjoy it as a feast. So I want to do one more chant about the feast, and just to say, this is the poem that I wrote that is like an invitation. It's called "Come to the Feast." So this is the feast of our lives. Come to the feast. This banquet has been prepared especially for you. Sit and settle down and look around. You will see colors that sparkle, shapes that defy reason. You will hear sounds that lure and enchant you. You will smell fragrances that waft in from world to world, tickling memory, bringing visions. You will taste the sweet and the bitter together. Your tongue will curl around a texture so creamy, a taste so sharp. You will feel sorrow and joy in equal measure. Your heart will break and be made whole. Come to the feast. Feel invited, welcomed, encouraged, tantalized. So that is our invitation to come to the feast and feel everything. And be able to share that with each other, to share the feast, because the Song of Songs says, "Feast, friends." It's an invitation of friendship, of experiencing this sublime together.
And when I get triggered by fear, and I get triggered, my antidote, my medicine, is to get drunk with love. I need to get drunk again with love. So this is the chant.
To go to the highest vibration.
Yes, to go to the love place, which is, the good drunk.
The good draft. The expanded consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's go there.
Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein. Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim. Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim. Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim. Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim. Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Ichlu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim.
So let's just pause one moment and take a look into the KZOOM room and see if we can make this an invitation to our friends to feast. That, to invite us all to the feast. Yeah. So we'll sing this to each other.
Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Ichlu rein, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim, Shatu v'shikru dodim. v'shikru dodim. Shatu v'shikru dodim. Ichlu rein.
Feast, friends, and drink till you are drunk with love. So, KZOOMers, lovely to be together. I just want to say that we sadly won't be here for the next three weeks.
Shefa will be on a journey.
But don't give up. Don't give up on us. Then we'll come back and
we have plenty of
be with you
reruns
again.